Okay, Pop, welcome. I have a little paper here because I'm super happy. You know why? This week I paid off my car. I'm debt free. And you can be too. How so? Just follow this method I'm about to show you. It'll be helpful. First things first, why in the world did I get a car payment? Bud, the person who hates debt in any way, shape, or form, other than for a house. Well, my old car died, and I didn't have any money in the bank because that said car destroyed all of my emergency fund and saving that I had for the last bunch of years. I bought a lemon because I was stupid. Stupid tax sucks. Yeah. Enough of that. So, my other 4 cars that I bought were all cheap and easily affordable. I had a 1993 Honda Accord with 150,000 miles on it. I bought it for $600, drove it into the ground because it's a $600 car. Who cares about a $600 car? Use it as a 4-wheeler. Who cares? It was fun. That was a fun time. I'll put up a picture of that actually. I should put it in. It was a nice little place. I paid cash for that and it lasted me 2 years. During that 2 years, I saved up money and I had a little bit extra left over because once it died, or rather I just sold it. It's still driving around somewhere. Somebody bought it and they decided to keep it. I actually made a profit on the one. I think I sold it for like $800. It was awesome. And after I sold my Honda, I bought a 1997 Acura TL, but it was a little bit nicer because it had leather seats, it had a sunroof, and they were heated seats. It did have 180,000 miles though, and it was $1,700. But I had a lot more than $1,700, so it was a steal. It was good. Now, that one lasted me for about a year, and then at that point I had enough saved up that I just went and bought a 2010 Subaru Forester for $6,000. I had to search for months to find this deal. It had 30,000 miles on it. It was like 33, something like that. And it was only $6,000. Why would a car with 33,000 miles on it be worth $6,000 if it was a 2010 in 2016? Well, it had been wrecked. Unfortunate, but good for me, because I didn't care about my cars being damaged because my 2 previous cars, they were already damaged. One was used as a 4-wheeler, dents all over the place, didn't even have the same color fenders as the rest of the body. And the other one was one that I spray painted to look like a galaxy. That was fun too. I had a lot of fun with that. Then there was the third car. It was the 2010 Subaru Forester. It lasted me like 6 years. That car lasted me all the way until 2022. Now, it was... Now that car lasted me all the way till 2022, which was pretty great, because that was a little while into my marriage, actually. Then, unfortunately, my wife, her car got hit by a deer in the middle of the city. It straight up just ran into it while she was basically parked. And it just poof, and then like it tumbled around and yeah, it was unfortunate. I was doing a work at home job at the time, so my car was just sitting in the driveway not doing anything for a while. And so I decided, I'll sell it. It's a manual transmission. She's never driven a manual transmission and we live in the city. Not a good combo. Now, unfortunately, what I did buy is a 2006 Subaru Outback that was new. Well, it had a new engine and a new transmission. And I was like, those are the 2 most expensive things. Surely this can't be a lemon. Hint, hint. It was a lemon. Yeah, that car had 250,000 miles on the body. And even though it had a new engine and a new transmission, it still cost me. It took our emergency fund all the way down from $15,000 all the way down to $3,000. So after depleting the emergency fund, the issue still wasn't fixed. And I had taken it to multiple mechanics. None of them could actually figure it out. And then eventually I took it to the dealership because the dealership knows Subarus. They know how to fix it. And finally they were just like, dude, your engine's totaled. It's got low compression on 3 cylinders. You need a new engine. I was like, a new engine? I spent 12 grand fixing this car. I'm not putting in a new engine. And at the time, I was learning how to be a car salesman, mainly just on YouTube, blah, blah, blah. I taught myself a few things, and I convinced myself to buy a new car instead of fixed for $4,000. And the logic, which I think was fairly sound at the time, was I need to buy a new car. And I didn't have money for a new car, so I had to get a loan on the new car. So I decided instead of paying $10,000 in repairs for the engine, the struts, the tires, the rotors, the this, the that, and I decided I was just going to convince my wife to buy a $10,000 car that was safe, that was reliable, and we would just get a loan on it. So I'm going to go over some of the numbers here real quick. Or that $12K that we use fixing up the car and stuff like that, we're just going to call that stupid tax because it was stupid tax. I bought a car. I only drove it for 5 minutes and then I said, okay, let's buy the car. Instead of taking it to a mechanic and taking the extra time to actually get it checked out. Always get your car checked out by a mechanic before you buy it. Otherwise, you'll end up like me with a lemon, destroying your finances. Yeah, not fun. When we went to the dealer, we got a 2010 Subaru Impreza. Now this was 2022. And in 2022, everything is expensive for cars because reasons. That's why. It had 7,800 miles on it, so really low for the year. A good deal. It was clean. It was running well. It was awesome. I did know there were upcoming maintenance costs here in the next 5,000 miles or so. The purchase price was $10,000 before taxes and add-ons. Taxes and dock fees were about $1,000. I wanted gap insurance because the 2022 car market made everything overvalued. That was another $1,000 as well. Total $12,000. The dealer gave us $2,000 for our broken lemon of a car. We put $2,000 down as a down payment so the payments could be as low as possible. That is the first step that you need to take when you're thinking about buying a new car. New to you car, is make sure that it's well within your means so you have extra money per month that you can throw at it. Now, most of you watching this probably already have a car and a car payment and you're drowning. You're probably underwater and life sucks right now. But that's what this next part is for. I have a solution, it's what I did, and it works. It works faster than you think. It was so awesome. Here's what I did. I created as much margin in my budget as I could. Now, margin is just the extra money you have left over at the month. Now, how can you do this? You can get on a budget. It's a plan for your money so you can see where everything is going and tell it where it should be going. You can pick up a side hustle or overtime at work. Or you can just change jobs entirely. That's what I did. I went from a desk job, not doing anything, and I switched over to custodial. Switching over to custodial gave me $2.50 per hour extra, which equated to be about $200 a month extra on top of our already extra income. Really nice. But the best part is, about 3 months into this new position that I was at, I was still looking for other better positions because $2.50 per hour extra wasn't going to be fast enough. But luckily, in this company that I'm working for currently, because I like my job, it's nice, it's a good job, a position opened up for supervisor in custodial. I was like, I've done supervisor stuff before. It won't be that hard. It's a tough gig. It's a hard job. But guess what? It pays $8.50 per hour more than what I was having, which is great. So now I'm up $11.75 an hour. That's a second job for most people, nearly doubling my income from when I was working the desk job. So $11.75 an hour between the two totaled gave us an extra $900 a month. The great thing about that is because of our smarts about the car purchase and making sure we were within our means even at the current job, with the new income we had $1,450 per month extra that we could put down on the car. Unfortunately, I did have routine maintenance and things like that we had to get. Also, there were a bunch of extra things that I wanted to get, not about the car, but just fun little toys. So I spent extra money here, extra money there, bought nice Christmas stuff for my wife and I and some of our family members. So I spent a bunch of extra money there, so I could have accelerated it even farther. I was feeling defeated, so I took as much extra overtime as I could, sometimes working 70 hours per week. 70. That's a lot of hours, and it sucks. It's hard, it's rough, it's not fun. That gave us almost an extra $2,600 a month from the job that I started out at. That's insane. In a matter of 4 to 6 months, doubling my income? Come on, how often does that happen? Not very often at all. Pretty crazy stuff. So let's go over how my car payments looked. My wife and I have been paying minimum payments of $154 a month from November 2022 all the way till September 2023. That is after I found the new custodial job, after I found the supervisor job, and after I paid for the $2,500 maintenance bill that I had to have for the car because it's a Subaru. It was going to be around 95,000 miles, and I did not want to have my head gasket blow up because that's when it's supposed to be done. Head gasket, timing belt, this, that, bunch of other stuff. So we made sure the engine is top notch. Everything else on the car is perfect. I have a perfectly running car right now. In September, we started paying extra. We paid $350 a month in September. We paid $2,662 in October. I got exhausted from overtime and I needed to save for Christmas. I got myself and my wife some nice things, so we skipped the November payment entirely. December, we paid $580. In January, we paid $2,203. And in February, we paid $1,268.65. Debt-free! 15 months, that's all it took. But if I was smart about my money and things worked out a little bit faster, reality, we had only been pushing hard at this for 5 months. And now I have a paid off car. And my wife's car is paid off too. And they're both under 100,000 miles. Whoa. And you know the best part? By paying off the car early, we saved $1,500 in interest. But not only that, because I had 4 years roughly left on the gap insurance, I can get that amount refunded, which will probably amount to be about $800, give or take. Super nice to have that extra little payment back. A little bit of the stupid tax refunded. The numbers for that on why we save $1,500, this is because car payments it's not just a 5% or 8% or whatever percent, some people 17%. It's not one time over the loan term, it is 5%, 8%, however much percent you have per year. So it's 5% this year, 5% next year, 5% the year after that, 5% the year after that. Those numbers. So we paid it off 45 months early. Interest on the car loan was 5%. 5% every year. So if it was an $8,000 loan, which it was, 5% of that interest is $400. Times that by 5, you'll get $2,000. We paid our 60-month loan in 15 months. Each month, it would have been $33.33 of interest paid. So 33.33 times 45 is $1,500. There you have it. Buy a car well within your means. Find extra money wherever you can. As long as it's legal and moral, get every penny extra that you can. Do your budget. Find a new job. Find an extra job. Go pick up dog poop off of lawns. Whatever you got to do. Find extra ways to make money and throw it all at the car debt. Don't do any of this velocity banking. Don't do any of this, oh, I'm going to invest it for 4 years and then I'm going to take that investment and hope that it got bigger and sell it and then I'm going to, no. Work hard, pay your car off, you'll save a bunch of money, and then you can start getting your emergency fund. Then you can start saving up for a down payment on a house or paying off your house early or just getting extra money. Great stuff. Emergency fund first though. That's super helpful. After the car is paid off and all the other debt is paid off. Fully fund 3 to 6 months of emergency. Now, if you want to be better than me, don't buy the extra nice stuff. I spent probably $4,000 on extra stuff. I could have paid this off so much faster and I could have been saving and investing by now. Now you're freed up to save and invest. That's where my wife and I are. And if you want to follow us on our journey for investing and figuring out what happens after you don't have a car payment or any debt payments in the world and have a fabulous income, subscribe and watch every week. I've got a lot of knowledge that I got. Just time to test it out now. Peace.